Hi, my name's Dan. I finished last in my fantasy football league. This week, I'm looking at rookie overreach. My friend Tom posed the question, who will have a better season, Jeremiah Love or Jadarian Price? I clearly think that Love will have a great season because I included him in my video last week. But Price was selected by the defending champs and logically is in a better position to succeed. So it made me wonder, how likely is it that a rookie will have a great season? And what impact can a team have on his success? As a Bears fan, an example that always stands out is, well, most any quarterback they've ever taken, but specifically, let's look at Caleb Williams. Caleb had one of the best seasons for a Bears quarterback ever his rookie season, but finished 16th in quarterback fantasy points according to Fantasy Pros. Jayden Daniels, drafted right after Caleb by the Redskins, finished 5th in fantasy points and quickly had everyone wondering if the Bears made another mistake. Would Jayden have had the same success if he was on the Bears? I don't know. And his injury last year makes it difficult to compare the second year's improvements. But I do think bringing in Ben Johnson a year earlier, during Williams' rookie season, would have produced better results. Now, as far as I'm aware right now, none of the quarterbacks drafted this year are slated to start week 1. That could change as we get closer to the season, but it's not worth reviewing at this time. So instead, we'll start with running backs. Since the 2020 season, only 3 rookie running backs have finished in the top 10 in fantasy points for running backs. Jonathan Taylor in 2020, Najee Harris in 2021. I was as surprised by that as you, and he was on my team. And Jahmyr Gibbs in 2023. That means only 3 times out of 60 chances has a rookie running back made it into the top 10 in scoring. Now that's based on standard scoring. Those changing to PPR doesn't change much, as only Bijan Robinson in 2023 would be added to the list. Fun fact, the 12 running backs taken this year is the fewest since at least 1998. That's when I got tired of scrolling. So maybe it's a better story with wide receivers. My first thought was receivers are more likely to make an impact their rookie year, especially with today's pass-happy offenses. But there are multiple receivers on the field, which may limit a rookie's targets if they're playing with other solid receivers. So I decided to expand my search to the top 20 fantasy wide receivers, and, well, it's slightly better. Since 2020, 13 rookies have broken into the top 20 in receiving based on standard scoring. Oddly, that number drops to 8 if you switch to PPR. If you narrow the focus back down to top 10, 5 rookies still make the field: Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Nabers, Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. Puka is the only one of those not drafted in the first round, by the way, which does open the door to consider wide receivers taken in the first round, but their success still depends on the situation. So let's look at how a couple teams have impacted the success of their draftees, starting with Jets rookies. The Jets get picked on a lot, but I've gotten the impression people think they had a decent draft this year. So maybe they've turned a corner and selected players that will help them improve on that 3-14 record with 0 interceptions. Really can't get much worse, unless you look at the rookie performances. Only 4 Jets rookies finished in the top 200 in fantasy points since 2020. 4 out of 17 skill possessions taken in the draft. And only 1 finished in the top 100 when Garrett Wilson finished in number 54 in 2020. For the record, he was 21st for wide receivers in 2020, so was not included in my rookie wide receiver numbers earlier. Maybe that's not unique to the Jets, and other teams have a similar impact, like Packers rookies. I'll level with you. This one is out of spite. I don't like the Packers. And to my surprise, they have only had 2 players finish in the top 200 since 2020. Yes, 2. Yes, worse than the Jets. Jayden Reed in 2023 and Christian Watson in 2022. Bears have had 6. So how should you approach the rookies as you prepare for your fantasy drafts? Does the lack of success mean you should skip the rookies altogether? No, not at all. You just don't want to overreach by taking them too early in your draft. It'd make more sense to focus on established players as your starters and add rookies as you fill out your roster, especially if you're in a keeper league, as some of them may find their footing later in the season or in year 2 or 3, such as James Cook, who went from 44th in running back scoring his rookie season to 11th, 7th, and 5th last year. Devon Achane, 21st his rookie season, moving up to 9th, then 7th. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 51st, 14th, 2nd. There is also a chance they don't sustain the success, like Chase Claypool, who finished 14th among wide receivers in his rookie season and slipped to 38th, 78th, and 151st before dropping out of the league. Packers brought him in for a tryout this year. That's how bad they are. So it's absolutely worth keeping an eye out for rookies and figuring out how they can fit into your draft plans, though some may not show how good they are until year 2 or 3. So do your homework or finish last.